Hello and welcome to Auditing 260. I should say Accounting 260 Auditing for Spring 2014. We are on D2L right now. Your first step would be to log into d2l.oakton.edu, and over here you can put your user ID and name and get into the class. And then hopefully once you get into the class, this is what it is going to look like. Once you are in the class, I would like you to go to Content and go to Syllabus and Class Information, which is the first one. And if you click on Syllabus, it should open up this particular syllabus for you. So this is Spring 2014 Online. My name is Prashant Rawal. I will be your instructor. I have put down the office hours over here, and my direct phone, and my email address. However, my email address sort of becomes non-relevant here because all communication should only happen through D2L. So you can click here and send me an email. Certain rules for this class: I check my email once every 24 hours. So you can expect a response within 24 hours. There isn't anything urgent for this class because the deadlines have been given to you way ahead of time. So a response within 24 hours is what you can expect. I do not check my emails on Saturdays or Sundays, except when there are exams, but all those instructions have been given to you right now. So I hope there should not be any urgencies or emergencies, but if there are, I'm always here for you. So D2L should be our primary source of communication. So moving forward for this class, first let's talk about the textbook and the prerequisites. They have been given to you right over here. As far as the textbooks are concerned, it is a custom edition that you will only find in the bookstore, the 19th edition of Whittington Penny. Sometimes I get questions, can I buy this? I'm getting it online. Well, this custom publication also has specific cases in them that you will also be responsible for. So therefore it is heavily suggested that you only buy the Whittington Penny 19th edition, because without that there won't be any cases for you to read and answer and take the quiz. So therefore, let me tell you, it's a requirement. So if you send an email to me saying that I can find this much cheaper on Amazon, possible if someone has used it, I would still, my answer will be no, you need to buy this one, because the one on Amazon will not have the cases that is a requirement for this class. In addition to that, there is a workbook, a class handout packet. Okay, the first week if you don't have the handout packet, it is okay, because for chapters 1 and 2 I have already posted the information right here for you. So chapters 1 and 2, you will also find the workbook. If you have it in the workbook, good for you. If you already have purchased the workbook, good for you. If you have not purchased the workbook, you will find them right over here. Okay, so that way you don't fall behind in these chapters. So that's what you are going to be asked to purchase for this class. The class evaluation methods: 3 exams, 100 points each. Okay, quizzes and other assignments. This will primarily be the cases that I just talked about. So exams are 300 points. 3 exams. Exams are mandatory. They are given in the testing center. Okay, and I have done an FAQ sheet for the exams, frequently asked question sheet for the exams as well, which I'll go over. The exams are open from today itself. So the first day of the class, the exams open up in the testing center, and they are open until the last day, which is in the syllabus, and I'll go over that. Quizzes. But first let me focus on the exams itself. So exam 1 will be open in the testing center until the 24th. Okay, please forgive me. Exam 2 will be open in the testing center until the 7th of April. February 24th, before that you can take the exam 1 anytime. You can take exam 2 anytime before April 7th, but exam 3 will have to be taken by May 12th. Exams are not final. There is no final exam. It's exam 1, exam 2, exam 3. Exam 1 will cover chapters 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. Exam 2 will cover chapters 10, 11, 12, 13. Exam 3 will cover chapters 14 through 17 and chapter 3. I do chapter 3 at the end because I have found that you can really appreciate the role of ethics in this profession once you have understood what is at stake. So that's the chapter I teach last. But chapter 3's handout, since I was late in preparing the material for chapter 3, you will not find that in the handout packet, but I have posted it here for you. Okay. So 1, 2, and 3 are right here, but chapter 3 is not done until the end of the semester, sometime in May, hopefully when it is springtime and the weather is much better. Now, let me open up the FAQs for the exam. So let me get started with that. You can just click right here and you can either download it or hopefully we will be able to get it right over here. Now, this exam FAQ has not been updated, and I apologize for that, but this has to be updated. Exam, I have tried to answer a few questions in an FAQ format for you. Hopefully when you click this, it will not be these dates. I have to update them because it's the same sheet that I use every semester. When will the exams be available in the testing center? From today, which is January 20 to 24. First exam. Okay. Exam 2 will be available from January 20 to April 7th. Exam 3 will be, I have made all the exams available from today itself. I apologize. Exam 2 will be available from 3/04 to April 7th. And exam 3 will be available from April 8th through May 12th. I have to update this. I will update this. So please make sure you print out the one that you are looking at yourself and you open it up. Where can I take this exam? You can take the exam at the Des Plaines Testing Center or at the Skokie Testing Center in room A135. How many hours should I keep? Although it will not take you so long, I give you 3 hours. Should I call the testing center ahead of time to inquire about their hours? Yes, you can, and you should, and the numbers are right here. Should I take an ID card with me? Yes. Hours for testing center are listed here for you, and below is the website for the testing center. So except for this, everything is the same, and I will definitely update this. I thought I had updated it, but I apologize. It's not. I have the sheet ready though. So that's for the exams. Now, content of the exams. The auditing section in the CPA exam has 70% multiple choice and 30% are other questions. The 70% format is soon moving towards 80% multiple choice. The reason for that is that auditing is a test of your judgment. What do I mean by auditing is a test of your judgment? Well, in auditing, how well you understand the situation and then make a decision is very important. And the best way to test anybody is through multiple choice questions. 2 questions will be quite obvious. It's the third and the fourth question, and usually your first choice is the right choice. It is very important to understand over here that the multiple choice section of the the multiple choice taking is about practice. Practice, 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 and more practice. Okay, I know students who have passed the CPA simply they went to the library, took out the Wiley books from the library for the previous CPA exam, and they just kept on doing the questions, multiple choice, and they pass. So many times students come to me and say, what is the ideal way of studying for this course? And I'll try to explain that to you. All your testing is multiple choice. Now, 50 multiple choice times 2 is 100, but I give you 55 multiple choice. And what I do is 5 are bonus questions. What do I mean by that? It is possible that, just like beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, ambiguity is also in the eyes of the beholder. I have tried very hard to take out questions that are sort of ambiguous, but I also know that sometimes students may feel that way. that the question was not fair. Although the CPA exam does not do that, I do want you to do well. Okay, so the reason I want you to do well, of course, is because your grade matters. So I give you 5 bonus questions. So out of 55, let's say if you got 45 right, your grade is going to be 45 times 2, which is 90. Okay, so let me pull up a new sheet right here so I can explain to you better. 55 questions. Forty-five times 2. So 5 bonus questions. Okay. Now, I will of course go over how to study for this now that you know the exam format. So if you go in the content, my suggestions for study. The handout packet that you are going to buy, I have created YouTube lectures for you. Okay. So here is chapter 1 lecture, chapter 2 lecture, chapter 5, chapter 6. I would click on this, have your handout packet in front of you, go through this lecture. Okay. Once I'm done through the lectures, I would then review the PowerPoints. It'll make more sense to you once you review the PowerPoints. Okay. Then I would do the multiple choice questions in the handout packet. Okay. In the handout packet, there are multiple choice questions. So let me open up chapter 1 for you so I can show you. If you go in there, in chapter 1, of course you will have this handout packet in front of you because my lectures are through this. Okay. And if I go, this is not good. These are instructions for the case. I clicked on the wrong one. Not my fault. I need to be clicking over here. Please forgive me. Chapter 1. Okay. Now, once I open up chapter 1, I'll have this in front of me and the handout packet, and I will go through the lecture, the YouTube lecture. Okay. Once I go through the YouTube lecture, then I can review the PowerPoints. The intent behind this lecture, YouTube lecture, is to simplify the concepts for you. Okay. And then at the end, I have multiple choice questions for you in the workbook right here. After each chapter, there are multiple choice practice, multiple choice questions. So once I have reviewed the lectures, once I have done the PowerPoint review, and PowerPoint is an optional step if you want to do it, then I should go to this multiple choice questions and I should do them. What I have also done for you is I have given you the solutions for this multiple choice questions right here. Okay. Then the next step after that, reviewing the lecture, reviewing PowerPoint if you want to, but definitely, doing the multiple choice. Then I will basically go in to do the homework. Again, the homework problems are right here. These problems are not graded. You don't have to submit anything. This is a learning procedure for you. But I have also given you solutions to the homework problems right here. You can then review the solutions to see if you have really understood. Once you review the solution, so the sequence of events, review the lectures, do the multiple choice questions in the handout packet, do the homework. Homework 2 has multiple choice questions, okay? And I have given you answers for that for the homework 2. So by this time, you have had enough exposure to the material. It is at this time that you should attempt the quizzes. The quizzes are given on a weekly basis. So as you can see, the quiz for chapter 1 and 2 is due on Monday, next Monday 27th. Our week starts on Monday night, it ends on Monday night, week ending 1/20. These are 2 small chapters combined into 2. So the week starts on Monday and the week ends on Monday. Okay, If I go in my calendar, and if I go to my home page, syllabus quiz, availability ends. So all this is right here for you, but I will go, for me to ensure that you have reviewed this YouTube lecture, you also need to take the syllabus quiz, and then you'll take the quiz for chapters 1 and 2. Okay, so once you follow the sequence, then you'll take the quiz. How many attempts do I give you for the quiz? 2 attempts. Which one do I grade? The better attempt. What is my intent behind giving you 2 attempts? Well, sometimes if you have computer problems, my quiz froze, you always have a second attempt. However, as a byproduct, students use it as a learning tool. Okay, and that's when they take the quiz, and they do the 2 attempts, they get the better attempt. I have a limited question bank, so I don't give you answers for all the questions. What I do give you, however, is answers for those questions that you got incorrect, so the learning process is culminated. Okay, so out of 10, let's say you got number 5 and number 7 wrong the first attempt, you will see the answers for those. In the second attempt, you got every question right, you won't see the answers. But let's say in the second attempt you got number 2 wrong, you will see answer for that too. So you will see answers for those questions that are incorrect. Okay, so that's what you got to keep in mind. So again, sequence of events: review the lecture, do the multiple choice questions of the workbook, review them, look at the answers of the multiple choice questions, then read the chapters. Okay, then do the homework. So let me go through the sequence of events. Oops. What is my primary reason for giving you 2 attempts? If your computer freezes or something like that happens, you have that second attempt always. But hopefully you will use that as a learning tool. Okay. Weekly quizzes. See, we have to take weekly quizzes because you cannot understand chapter 5 if you have not understood chapters 1 and 2. So the sequence has to go. Sometimes students come and say, I read, but I'm not getting the right kind of grade. See, taking multiple choice is about practice. Some people have a lot of practice and they do quite well. Some people don't have that much practice and they have to, practice more. So you will have that issue as well. People come and say, what is the right way to study? I have given you the right way to study. In this class, sometimes people read the chapter, students read chapters 2 or 3 times, those who get an A. Okay, it's not a reflection upon me, or it's a reflection upon the subject. Auditing is the toughest class, or I should say the last class. Please cancel toughest. Tough is a matter of opinion. The last class that you should take before you sit for the CPA, because it's a culmination of everything. But hopefully, I do have a lot of A's in my class. If you follow this process, you're going to do fine. Now for the exam. When you go to the testing center, this is the exam you're going to take. Exam 1, Exam 2, Exam 3. There's no there is a password. Okay? So only the testing center has the password. As far as practice exam, what is this? My suggestion before you take the exam is you should take the practice exam. It is very similar to the exam. It's almost similar except different questions, but only 1 attempt. This will tell you where you stand. First time, when you're taking the first exam, usually practice exam helps a lot, because when you're doing these quizzes, you have the textbook in front of you. When you're doing the practice exam, make sure the textbook is not in front of you. Okay? Normally, this is a test of your understanding. If you have understood the material, you're going to do fine. People say, study 8. Do I need a study aid before the exam? I have given you a study aid of concepts, but realistically, if you have understood everything, this is not a test of your memorization. Wherever we need to memorize, I have told you in the lectures. If you have understood everything, you're going to do fine. Okay? So, take this practice exam before you go here. It'll tell you what you need to understand. It'll also give you answers of incorrect questions. And then do this exam. Same thing for exam 2 and exam 3. In between, there are these cases. These cases, you have to read from the textbook and then simply answer the questions. Again, once you take the quiz, I know that you have understood the cases. Where is the information for the cases? Right here. Case 1, case 2, case 3. Okay. In addition to that, this is the Sarbanes-Oxley Act I have given you. You can review. Sometimes you may need to review this when you're doing the case. Statement on auditing standards. Let's take a look at this. In your textbook, you will find statements on SAS is what they call in auditing. Here is the website if you want to. This is called Audit Objective, and this is SAS number 1, Statement on Auditing Standards. You're not required to memorize this, or you're not tested on this, but if you want to do further research on this, this is the website you need to go to. If you feel like I need to, let's say, SAS number 56 is Analytical Procedures. You can go here, you can read more about this. SAS number 98, for example, is about 99, is about fraud. You want to read about this, you can go. This obviously came after the Enron debacle. Okay, and right now we are at SAS number 121. Okay, so all the statement of auditing standards in much more detail have been given to you over here. Of course, as we review the chapters, you will get a better understanding of these SASs. Okay, so going back to the content, this is the Sarbanes-Oxley Act. These are the handouts for chapter 1, 2, and 3. These are the case instructions I have given you. You can review this on YouTube if you want, and then the specific directions for the cases. These are the study guides you can review before the exam. As I have said, these are learning supplements. Is this going to be exactly what you see in the exam? Probably not. These are just overall concepts I have given you. But again, let me reinforce. Exam is a test of your understanding. If you have read the chapters, if you have done enough practice, you're going to do fine. Okay? What is this podcast? If I click over here, the password is balance. B-A-L-A-N-C-E. And if I click right here, here are some podcasts for you. And as you go through the chapters, I'll be telling you which podcasts you should be watching. Okay, so it helps you. For example, let me just tell you right now, instead of waiting later, accounts receivable, after chapter 11 of accounts receivable, you can watch this. After the cash chapter, you should be watching this. Ethics, expense and payroll fraud, you should be watching this. Inventory, after inventory chapter, you should be watching this. This is, I expect you to watch this after chapter 5. It should help you. Okay, and this one should be after chapter 7. 5 and 7 for this and others. This is good. This is another podcast about the CPA profession. You can watch it if you want to, but if you're already here, we have already sold you this profession, so it's up to you. If you want to watch it, you can, but you should definitely watch these podcasts. The password is balance. Let me write down over here again. It is, okay, with a lower b. Let me do this. Okay, that will be the password. So, coming back to the content, and then you have information for section 1 with the lectures, PowerPoints, multiple choice, workbook problems. There are problems in the workbook as you go through that I expect you to do. Of course, not to be submitted for grading, but you should then go ahead and look at this. Okay, the solution to the problems. And then the homework solutions, of course. Same format is followed for section 2, and then same one for section 3 as well. Okay, as I say, chapter 3 is the last chapter. So that's what I have for you. let's get started. I hope this is a good learning experience for you. As far as submission is concerned, if you submit this, you have submitted everything. Okay? Because when you take these quizzes, how do I know you're learning the material? When you take the quizzes, I will know. My office hours have been listed here for you, but I will be making appointments for you. I am available online too, but go ahead and take a look at these office hours, review this syllabus, and then once you reviewed the clip, hopefully then you are ready to start taking the quiz for the syllabus, which is a very small quiz, and then start with chapters 1 and 2. So that's all that I have for you. I wish you all the best, and I hope you will get a grade that you have expected, and more importantly, you have earned. Thank you.